Hello, I'm Cliff Pryor, CEO of the Global Steering Group for Impact Investment, a 50 plus group of national advisory boards to advocate and build for an impact future. I'm really delighted to be with you all at ImpactFest and with the Impact City of The Hague, creating the future of impact. And right now, I'm in Indonesia for the G20, so speaking to you from Southeast Asia across the world, but with exactly the same goals to support all people and our shared planet. Impact investing is growing. Impact investing is innovating. And most of all, impact investing is embracing governments, companies, investors, populations, as we all see how essential it is to become every single part of our society. So look, impact investing is developing. It started with small scale funds investing in new social entrepreneurs, and that's still very crucial work at the start of something that will grow big, or as the deep support for very specific needs that stay small but vital. And that's Impact 1.0. And then we went on to larger funds addressing bigger challenges, such as homes, health, education, transitions to clean energy, the billions, even the trillions that are required for climate measures. In my own hometown in the UK, almost all of the big financial organizations now have impact funds or impact loans, impact banks, and this is Impact 2.0. And now we're seeing the latest changes where impact tools are used across any listed company by taking publicly shared data from reporting, which is becoming regulated, to seeing the positive and negative of every company and investment. And that's Impact 3.0. Now, these three areas don't replace each other, they add to each other. We need all of these areas. The size required for a solution is the right size for that situation. But challenges remain. The climate crisis is here right now, not in 2050. We've seen wildfires in the US, in Europe, in Australia, worst of all in the Siberian peat forests, burning huge amounts of carbon. We've seen floods in Bangladesh, India, Australia. 40 Celsius is now a summer norm in Europe. 50 Celsius is becoming a new norm in India. And 55 Celsius is the point at which human life cannot survive, even in the driest of heat. Just think about that. 200 million people in northern India who could not get the heat out of their body. Every breath is yet more heat getting into you. Just think about the floods in Pakistan this year. 1/3 of the entire country underwater, a level plain, so that there is no high land to go to, and what that does to farming and food supplies. And as you may have heard a few weeks ago, the scientists are saying that we're not doing enough, that the goal of net zero by 2050 is no longer feasible, they say. And let's come to the SDGs, and the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals seek to achieve a better future for us all, but they've gone backwards during COVID, and we're now substantially off track on livelihoods, education, health, you name it. And of course, then the man-made disaster from the Russian war and its invasion of Ukraine that's gone on to become a global disaster, adding pain to the world, because Ukraine is the breadbasket of the world. And so the Russian war is creating harms around the world with food insecurity, fuel insecurity, fertilizer insecurity, broken supply chains, inflation, and more. And in Southeast Asia, in Africa, in so many places, there will be famines and hunger and desperation on a scale that's really not been seen since the World War II. 1.5 billion people expected to be in hunger this year, the doubling of people in absolute famine, an increase in carbon emissions. So I'm sorry, I'm telling you desperate circumstances, and you probably know all this, but I don't want you to feel helpless. We are not helpless. We can all make changes. We can make net zero feasible, from coal and oil to solar and wind energy, from reducing methane from farm animals to switching to plant-based diets, from reducing waste and creating circular economies, from supporting biodiversity to protect our oceans. So many innovations. None of us are helpless. All of us can make a better future. Every action we take will help. And I know that you, as participants in ImpactFest, will do everything you can to save our shared planet. You are the people who will address these challenges into the future. Difficult times generate new innovations. And as the saying goes, storms make trees grow deeper roots. If you want to know who that's from, it's Dolly Parton, my favorite guru. So we are here already seeing the future of impact, energy transitions, which includes support for the social transitions as well, the just transition approach, climate action, socio-economic action, community voice. We're seeing climate adaptation and resilience, building future proofing for people, particularly in flood areas, food transition, recognizing that over a third of all emissions come from food, and how we're seeing a wave of change from meat to plant, reducing waste, reducing transport costs, and agri-tech to make the very best of water and fertilizer. Agri-tech is a booming industry, but so far very little has gone into emerging economies. So we need a new wave of innovations to make agri-tech manageable, repairable, usable, affordable in sub-Saharan Africa and beyond. And then we've got the biodiversity to support the resilience in food and nature, improving soil, safeguarding our oceans. Circularity, bringing everything together, reusing materials, whether it's plastics or rare earths, whether it's concrete or steel. And nowhere do we see the future of impact more than here in Impact City. The future must also embrace impact finance and impact governments. Latest data says that there's now almost $1.2 trillion of impact investing and another $2.5 trillion of sustainability-linked bonds and loans. And yet more, 36 trillion of funds with ESG frameworks, environment, social and governance. Yes, ESG is far from perfect, but just $1 trillion of impact investment is nowhere enough either. Nonetheless, the direction of travel is very clear and very powerful. More investors, more companies, more startups are all focusing on their impact on people and planet, not only profit. And regulators are starting to adopt these requirements as well. And we can use these new financial tools, outcome funds, catalytic finance, systemic investment, short-term financial intensity to overcome barriers, for example, to bring down the prices of key technologies through buying at volume so that they can be usable in sub-Saharan Africa. We can make the difference. You can make the difference. And I wish you every success in this amazing Impact Fest. This is the place where it all comes together. So enjoy, learn, innovate, and of course, act. Thank you very much. Thank you.